1,049 horsepower, a Formula One engine that revs to 11,000 RPM, a top speed of 219 miles per hour. This is the Mercedes AMG ONE, a hypercar that looks like it landed from the future. With its butterfly doors, massive air intakes, and an active rear wing that transforms on the move, it's more race car than road car. But this machine doesn't just look fast, it's breaking records and rewriting what's possible for supercars. To really understand why this car is so special, you have to go back to where it all started. But first, hit this subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications. Let's rewind to the 1960s. Two guys, Hans Werner Aufrecht and Erhard Melcher, were working in the racing division at Mercedes-Benz. Now, Mercedes was building cars like the legendary 300 SE, but then something unexpected happened. Mercedes shut down all motorsports activities. That could have been the end of the story, but these two engineers, they weren't ready to stop. So, what did they do? Well, Hans Werner Aufrecht turned his home into the new headquarters. In a small town called Großpasch, these two guys kept working on race cars in their garage. Talk about determination. They took the Mercedes 300 SE, improved it, and entered it into a racing championship. A colleague named Manfred Schick drove it and won 10 races. Just like that, AMG was born. But what does AMG even mean? It's simple. A for Aufrecht, M for Melcher, and G for Großpasch. Their tiny workshop grew fast because word spread. People realized these guys could take regular Mercedes cars and turn them into something unbelievable. And then, in 1971, something amazing happened. In the 24 hours of Spa race, AMG brought a massive car called the 300 SEL 6.8. It wasn't supposed to win. It was a big heavy luxury sedan, not a sleek race car. But guess what? It stunned everyone, finishing first in its class and second overall. That car's massive V8 engine made it a beast and made AMG famous overnight. Suddenly, AMG wasn't just a garage shop, it was the name everyone wanted. They were turning Mercedes cars with crazy engines, custom designs, and speed that could embarrass supercars. AMG, they earned a reputation for doing the impossible. If you had the money and the dream, they could make it real. Fast forward to the 1980s, AMG was still tuning cars and winning races. Then something big happened. The Hammer. This wasn't just any Mercedes, it was a 300e sedan with a 5.6-litre V8 engine. It could hit nearly 190 miles per hour, faster than some Ferraris at the time. People, well, they couldn't believe it. A four-door car, faster than supercars. AMG were unstoppable. By the 1990s, AMG had grown so much that Mercedes decided to make them part of the family. It was official. AMG became Mercedes AMG, and from that point on, AMG was no longer just a tuner, it was the performance arm of Mercedes itself. Almost every Mercedes, from the small A-Class to the luxury S-Class, now had AMG versions. But AMG, they weren't done yet. In 2010, they decided to do something bold. Instead of modifying a Mercedes, they built their own car, the SLS AMG. It was their first standalone model, inspired by the iconic Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing. It was a hit. This success gave AMG the confidence to dream bigger, build crazier, and push boundaries that no one thought possible. But where do you go when you've already built some of the fastest and the most iconic performance cars on the planet? For Mercedes AMG, the answer was clear. Take everything they'd learned on the Formula One racetrack and bring it to the streets. That's how the AMG ONE was born. Now, here's where things get really wild. The AMG ONE isn't just another supercar, it's something far beyond that. This is a hypercar with a Formula One engine at its heart. Let that just sink in for a second. A road car, powered by the same kind of engine that dominates F1 circuits around the world. The idea, it sounded impossible, but Mercedes AMG knew they could pull it off. It all started with a concept car called the Project One. When Mercedes AMG first unveiled it, the specs seemed too good to be true. People wondered, can they really bring F1 technology to the road? But Mercedes AMG wasn't about to disappoint. Their car went straight into development at the AMG headquarters in Alfalterbach, Germany, where some of the best automotive engineers in the world worked tirelessly to bring it to life. Even Formula One legend Lewis Hamilton, who drives for Mercedes AMG's F1 team, got involved. As the project progressed, Lewis joined the team of test drivers, helping to fine-tune the car's handling and its performance. And when a 7-time world champion is helping you develop a car, you know it's going to be something extraordinary. After years of development and testing, Mercedes AMG finally unveiled the production version of the AMG ONE on June 1st, 2022. The car was everything fans had hoped for and more. The exclusivity was off the charts. Mercedes AMG announced they would only build 275 units with a staggering price tag of $2.72 million. But here's the crazy part. Even with that price, all 275 cars, they'd already been sold before production began. That's right, demand was 4 times higher than the production limit, but Mercedes AMG refused to make more. Why? Well, because exclusivity, it matters. By August 2022, production of the AMG ONE officially started, and here's something else that sets this car apart. Every single unit is hand-built by the team at Mercedes AMG. This isn't a car that rolls off an assembly line. It's a masterpiece, crafted with the same care and precision you'd expect from a championship-winning race car. On January 16, 2023, the first AMG ONE was delivered to its lucky owner. It was no ordinary delivery either. The car featured a stunning custom paint job inspired by the livery of Mercedes AMG F1 W12E Performance, a nod to the Formula One car that helped inspire its creation. But who's buying these ultra-exclusive machines? Well, Lewis Hamilton himself reportedly purchased 2 units, one of which he's gifting to his father, Anthony. Other famous owners include David Coulthard, former McLaren Mercedes F1 driver, Nico Rosberg, 2016 F1 world champion, Valtteri Bottas, and even Australian businessman Lindsay Fox. These aren't just cars, they're pieces of history. So, what makes the AMG ONE so special? Why is it the ultimate blend of Formula One performance and road car engineering? And just how fast can it go? Let's find out. At first glance, the AMG ONE looks like it's come straight from the future. Every inch of this car has been designed with purpose. It doesn't just look cool, it's shaped to slice through the air and stick to the road like glue. The front of the car has massive air intakes that gulp in air to cool the engine and improve downforce. But here's where it gets even cooler. The AMG ONE has movable aerodynamic parts. The slats above the front wheels adjust on their own to improve airflow, and the rear wing extends in 2 parts. Why? Because this car has an active drag reduction system, DRS, just like a Formula One car. Press a button and the flaps flatten to reduce drag, helping the AMG ONE fly down straightaways at ridiculous speeds. It's smart aerodynamics in action. Look closely and you'll see huge air intakes on the roof. It feeds air directly into the engine, giving it all the oxygen it needs to perform like a beast. The long aerodynamic fin stretching down the back, well, that's straight out of motorsport, keeping the car stable at high speeds. Even the wheels are optimized for airflow, with carbon fiber openings to cool the brakes and to increase grip. Every detail is there for one reason: performance. Now, let's get into the heart of this machine, the engine. This isn't just any engine, it's the same technology used in Mercedes AMG's Formula One cars. Under the hood sits a 1.6-litre turbocharged V6 engine. That's right, just 1.6 litres. It sounds small, doesn't it? But don't let that fool you. This little powerhouse revs up to 11,000 RPM, which is higher than almost any road car ever made. At idle, it's a crazy 1,280 RPM, something you'd only expect from a race car. The V6 alone produces 566 horsepower. That's insane for an engine of just this size. But here's where the magic happens. The AMG ONE, it doesn't just rely on the engine. It uses 4 electric motors to take the performance to another level. One motor sits on the crankshaft to help the engine. Another motor is attached to the turbocharger. Why? Well, to eliminate turbo lag. This means the turbo spins up instantly, so there's no delay when you hit the gas. Then you have 2 electric motors on the front wheels. This creates an all-wheel drive system that makes the car grip the road like nothing else. Together, these 4 motors add another 483 horsepower, pushing the total output to an insane 1,049 horsepower. Now, you might be thinking, how fast can this thing go? Hold on to your seat, because the AMG ONE has a top speed of 219 miles per hour, and it rockets from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds. That's faster than the blink of an eye. Need more proof of its speed? It hits 124 miles per hour in just 7 seconds, and it reaches 186 miles per hour in 15.6 seconds. This is hypercar territory, pure raw speed that feels like being launched out of a cannon. And to keep all that power in control, Mercedes AMG gave the One a 7-speed single-clutch transmission. Why not a dual-clutch? Because the single clutch is lighter and better suited for the high-revving F1 engine. It's a race car gearbox made for the streets. Handling all that speed requires a suspension system that's just as advanced. The AMG ONE uses a 5-link coil-over suspension setup with push-rod spring struts. The system can adjust itself on the fly to match the car's driving mode. Speaking of driving modes, this car has 6 modes to choose from, and each one changes the way it behaves. Let's break it down. Race Safe mode is a hybrid mode that lets the car start up using only the electric motors. The engine kicks in later. Race mode keeps the engine running while charging the battery for later. EV mode is fully electric, so you can cruise without using the gas engine at all. Race Plus mode is where things get serious, where the car lowers itself, the aerodynamics go full attack, and everything is tuned for max performance. Strat 2 mode takes it even further. It's basically F1 qualifying mode. Firm suspension, full power, and insane speed. And then there's individual mode, where you can customize your own settings. In Race Plus and Strat 2 modes, the AMG ONE creates up to 5 times more downforce than in other modes. That's how it sticks to the road like a magnet. But if you want straight line speed, hit the DRS button, and the car reduces drag to fly down the track. Of course, with this much power, you do need some serious brakes. The AMG ONE uses carbon ceramic brakes with 6 piston calipers up front and 4 piston calipers in the back. They're ventilated to handle extreme heat because when you're going this fast, stopping is just as important. Now, let's talk about the interior. The AMG ONE, it keeps it simple and driver-focused, just like an F1 car. The bucket seats are built right into the carbon monocoque chassis. The steering wheel looks exactly like the one in Lewis Hamilton's F1 car, with knobs to adjust driving programs, DRS, and more. There are paddle shifters, a central infotainment screen, and even some luxury touches, like Napa leather with hand stitching. It's the perfect balance of comfort and pure racing focus. But here's the best part. This isn't just a track monster, it's a record breaker. The AMG ONE, it already holds the title of the fastest road-legal car at the Nürburgring, with a lap time of 6:29.09. That's over 6 seconds faster than its own previous record. It already smashed lap records at tracks like Monza, Hockenheimring, and the Red Bull Ring. Wherever it goes, the AMG ONE dominates. So, what makes the AMG ONE so special? It's simple. It's a Formula 1 car you can drive on the road. It's loud, it's fast, and it's unlike anything else ever built. Mercedes AMG, it took the impossible and made it real. If you're as blown away by this car as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments which car should we cover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.